I don't know that he knew that he was, because anybody that knows Ole knows Ole's kind of in his own world. But I tell you, I learned as much, and I've said this on record, as much or more from him in the 8-10 months we were together, whatever it was, than I did the entire time I was in the business. Credibility is the first word, that comes to mind. I looked at Ole Anderson as his partner, and I just sat there in the corner in awe of just how good, how convincing, how rugged he made you believe, because he was real. Ole Anderson was a badass, no doubt about it. And I just kind of sat there and soaked it in and just learned a lot of intangibles from him that I took with me and I try to teach today. He was awesome.
With Ole, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, obviously great. The Horseman is great. And you guys had great chemistry, but I think second to none would be you and Tully. And like we said, the Brainbusters, but you and Tully, even in the NWA, possibly the greatest chemistry of all time, possibly, your greatest tag partner. Can you just explain how you and Tully were able to mesh so well together?
Well, if you look at the best teams over time, they weren't, Ole and I looked alike, but we didn't wrestle alike. Tully and I looked nothing alike, wrestled absolutely nothing alike, but we both had our strengths and we both had our weaknesses, and we stayed away from our weaknesses and worked towards our strengths. And that kind of leads you to, now, okay, we got to put a match together. Let's see who our competition is. Look at their strengths, look at their weaknesses, and we did a lot of planning before matches. A lot of conversation between he and I, and hey, if this happens, or this comes up, let's try this, or it was just a lot of thought that went into it. We just didn't walk in there blind. We did our homework. And the main thing is that we shot for is when we walked out of that curtain, you can feel the passion in the audience one way or the other, about us. And we could feel it in each other because whether or not Rick was after us or in the match with us, or that rare time that he might have even been below us, which I don't know when that would ever have been. But the fact is, the success of the Horseman was because, Barry Windham included, we all tried to outdo each other, with the recipients obviously being the fans. We tried to steal the show from each other with whatever opponent we had, and we were working for the audience and working for that feeling that when you came back through the curtain, you didn't have to ask anybody how the match was. You knew. One way or the other, you knew. And I think that's what, the competitive spirit between Tully and I, and whoever our opponent was, is what made us a very good tag team, I thought. Much like Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton and Cornette, in my opinion, the greatest tag team that ever was. That's just my opinion. But Tully and I fit in there somewhere, that's for sure.